turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They start the drive with Cook. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A first down throw for Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And a terrific return as he brings us all the way back to the 30.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Carter. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. And the Jets are going to get a new set of downs.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Sliding out of the pocket. That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. Corey Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Well, no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets, they don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here.
Well, the Vikings sit 4-7 now on the year. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Cousins throw complete there to Smith. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. This defense for the Jets, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
He gets this one to Johnson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They go play action now. Wilson. That is caught. It's Uzama. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, it certainly took too long to set up play action. That gave the pass rush time to get home for its first sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about a quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through the completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Zerline out now to kick this one away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by DJ Reed. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Wilson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they start at their own 24-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff would be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. This one into the hands of Thielen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup of 38.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's Jermaine Johnson stopping that play before it begins, dropping it for a loss.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Cook again. And a very similar result again. The Jets defense once more stopping him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
For the Vikings field goal, a 47-yard attempt.
Joseph's got it. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one.
I think that's a good way to look at it.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 33 yards that time.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Zerline now for the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3.
Makes the score Jets 17, Vikings 3.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Fair catch, made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. Now, for those who missed it, he had an interception last week, too. When a lineman picks a ball off once, it's news. Back-to-back weeks, it's breaking news.
Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Big man with football. How about that? And look at, you know how happy he is right now? He's going to go to the defensive backs room in practice this week and say, guys, I'm joining your ranks.
He's a pig in mud. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Here's Wilson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. It's 2nd and goal. Back to the 8-yard line now.
It's 2nd down and goal.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity.
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown.
A 9-yard touchdown there.
And the Jets will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the 2nd half.
Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, New York. Garrett Wilson, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jets come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Zerline good with a PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Well, I don't want to take too much away from his performance throwing the football. He's got the 4 touchdown passes, but this now a 2nd interception of the ball game.
And part of what's gotten him the 4 touchdowns is a certain fearlessness. But that fearlessness borders with recklessness, and the latter just occurred.
Following the interception, Cousins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take over here up near the 40. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the 2nd one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a check down complete to Hall. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's 2nd and 9.
They go play action with Wilson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Yeah, we kind of sensed that one. He got a little too far forward before throwing, and that one will set them back.
And remember, the NFL level, being aware of where the line of scrimmage is crucial. And here's the other part. Any part of the quarterback's body that's near that line of scrimmage, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. So he was clearly over the line.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Cousins on first down. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. B.C. Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Joseph connects on the extra point,
and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
Berrios now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Now Hall to start the drive. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson, a hit as he throws there, incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing his Cousins. And now here is another interception. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the 2nd half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
To throw is Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
9 yards. It's 3rd down.
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Wilson. Under pressure, and they got to him again. They overloaded that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Good route here.
4th down, Cousins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
Here we go. Set.
On 1st down, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. Yeah, he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Ready.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And now here is another interception. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Jets, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.